You can force your blood pressure down by turning off one specific biological switch that is likely stuck in the on position right now. When this switch is on, your blood vessels tighten, your heart beats harder, and your numbers stay stubbornly high no matter what you eat or how many medications you take. I'm Dr. Ben Harris, and today I am going to show you exactly how to flip that switch to off, along with 6 other specific triggers you need to deactivate to see better readings. Here is what most people do not realize. This is not about salt or weight. This is about a part. Most people try to fix their blood pressure with diet alone, or they rely entirely on prescriptions, but they often miss the mechanical and nervous system triggers that keep pressure elevated. The first method I will show you works physically on the nerves to relax your arteries, but be warned, even if you do this perfectly, your numbers might still look high if you don't turn off a common source of noise during the actual measurement, which I will explain in step 2. This sequence is designed to help you regain control. Before we begin the list, I want to know where you are starting so we can track progress. Comment your age and usual top number range below, 120s, 130s, 140s, or 150 plus. Let me walk you through the steps now. There are 7 in total. Each one helps switch off that internal alarm and gives your blood pressure a chance to come down naturally. Here's the first one. Use slow exhale breathing before stressful moments. This is not meditation. This is not yoga. This is simply changing the length of your exhale compared to your inhale. When you breathe out longer than you breathe in, you send a direct signal to your nervous system that tells it to calm down. This can lower your blood pressure within minutes. Most people breathe in and out at the same pace without thinking about it. That keeps the nervous system in a neutral or slightly alert state. But when you deliberately slow down the exhale, your body interprets that as safety. And when your body feels safe, your blood vessels relax. Harold is 67 years old. He had been taking blood pressure medication for 5 years. But every time he visited his doctor, his numbers were still high. His top number was usually around 152 or 155. His doctor considered adding another medication. Harold mentioned this to a friend who suggested he try slow breathing before his appointment. Harold was skeptical, but he tried it anyway. He sat in the waiting room, closed his eyes, and breathed in for 4 seconds, then out for 6 seconds. He did this for about 5 minutes. When the nurse checked his blood pressure, it was 141. Still not perfect, but lower than any reading he had gotten in that office for over a year. Harold started doing the same slow breathing every morning and every evening. Within a few weeks, his readings at home were consistently in the 130s. The reason this works is that slow exhale breathing activates the part of your nervous system responsible for rest and recovery. This is the opposite of the stress response. When you activate it, your heart rate slows slightly and your blood vessels widen. Both of these help bring blood pressure down. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Then breathe out slowly through your nose or mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this for 3 to 5 minutes. You can do it sitting in a chair, lying in bed, or even standing if you are stable. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy, stop and breathe normally. This should feel calming, not stressful. Most older adults can do this safely. If you have a respiratory condition or severe heart problems, speak to your doctor first. This one simple habit can lower your readings the same day you try it. Here is another simple step that makes a bigger difference than most people expect. Measure your blood pressure correctly at home. Many older adults check their blood pressure at home, but most do it in a way that gives them numbers that are higher than their true reading. This leads to unnecessary worry and sometimes unnecessary medication adjustments. The way you sit, the position of your arm, how long you rest before the reading, whether you talk during the measurement, and even the size of your cuff can all change the number on the screen. Doris is 71 years old. She bought a home blood pressure monitor after her doctor told her she had stage 1 hypertension. Every time she used it, her top number was between 145 and 155. She felt discouraged. She thought nothing was working. One day, her daughter, who was a nurse, visited and watched her take a reading. Doris sat on the couch with her legs crossed, her arm hanging down by her side, and she started the machine right after walking in from the kitchen. While the cuff inflated, she asked her daughter a question about dinner. Her daughter stopped her and explained what was wrong. Doris was not resting before the reading. Her legs were crossed, which raises blood pressure. Her arm was unsupported and too low, and talking during the measurement added several points to the number. They tried again. This time, Doris sat in a chair with her feet flat on the floor. She rested quietly for 5 minutes. She placed her arm on a table at heart level. She stayed silent during the reading. Her number came out at 136. Doris had been getting false high readings for months simply because of technique errors. Here is how to measure correctly. Sit in a chair with a back support. Place both feet flat on the floor. Do not cross your legs. Rest your arm on a table so that the middle of the cuff is level with your heart. Sit quietly for at least 5 minutes before taking the reading. Do not talk. Do not scroll your phone. Do not watch television. When you press start, stay still and silent until the reading is complete. Take 2 readings about 1 minute apart. The second reading is usually more accurate. Write both down, but use the second one as your main number. Also, make sure your cuff fits. If your arm is larger, you may need a large adult cuff. A cuff that is too small will give a falsely high reading. If you are unsure, measure the circumference of your upper arm with a tape measure and check it against the sizing chart that comes with your monitor. If you take your blood pressure right after eating, exercising, drinking caffeine, or feeling stressed, the number will be higher. Wait at least 30 minutes after these activities before measuring. This supports more accurate tracking and gives you and your doctor a clearer picture of your real blood pressure. If you want more calm, simple tips like this for blood pressure and blood sugar, subscribe to this channel. New videos come out regularly. Here is another step that many people overlook. 3. Get 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight within the first 2 hours of waking. This sounds too simple to matter, but morning light does something specific to your body's internal clock. It helps reset the rhythm that controls when you feel awake and when you feel sleepy. And this rhythm is directly connected to blood pressure patterns. Blood pressure naturally rises in the morning and falls at night. In many older adults, this pattern becomes disrupted. Blood pressure stays high in the evening and does not dip properly during sleep. This is linked to poor sleep quality and increased cardiovascular strain over time. Morning light exposure helps restore that natural rhythm. When bright light enters your eyes in the morning, it signals your brain that the day has started. This improves sleep quality at night, which in turn allows blood pressure to fall properly while you rest. Eugene is 69 years old. For years, he stayed indoors most of the morning. He would wake up, make coffee, sit in his recliner, and read the newspaper or watch television. His curtains stayed closed. He did not go outside until the afternoon, if at all. Eugene's morning blood pressure readings were always his highest. He often saw numbers like 158 or 160. His doctor increased his medication twice, but the mornings stayed stubborn. Eugene's wife read something about light exposure and suggested he try sitting on the porch in the morning. He started doing it. Every day after breakfast, he would take his coffee outside and sit in a chair facing the yard. He did not do anything special. He just sat there for about 15 minutes while the sun was still low in the sky. After several weeks, Eugene noticed 2 things. He was sleeping better, and his morning blood pressure readings dropped by 8 to 10 points on average. His doctor noticed the change too. The reason this helps is that natural light, especially in the morning, is much brighter than indoor light. Even on a cloudy day, outdoor light is several times stronger than the light inside your home. This brightness is what signals your brain and sets your internal clock. Here is how to do it. Within the first 2 hours after waking, go outside and sit or stand in a spot where you can see the sky. You do not need to look at the sun. Just being in natural daylight is enough. Stay there for 10 to 15 minutes. If you cannot go outside, sit near a window with the curtains open. This is gentle and easy on the body. Most older adults can do this without any difficulty. If you have eye conditions, wear your regular glasses or sunglasses if needed. The light still reaches your brain even through lenses. This simple habit helps set the stage for better blood pressure patterns throughout the day and night. Here is another easy step that many seniors can add right away. 4. Take a gentle walk after your largest meal. When you eat, your body sends blood to your digestive system to process the food. If you sit still after a meal, blood pressure can rise or become less stable. But if you walk gently, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, it helps your body manage that process more smoothly. This is a same-day lever. It can make a difference right away. And it does not require any equipment, any gym, or any complicated routine. Just a slow walk around your home, your yard, or your neighborhood. Margaret is 73 years old. For as long as she could remember, her habit after lunch was to sit in her armchair and rest. She felt drowsy after eating, so she assumed resting was the right thing to do. But her blood pressure readings in the afternoon were often higher than her morning readings. Her doctor suggested she try a short walk after eating instead of sitting. Margaret was hesitant at first. She did not feel like moving when she was full, but she gave it a try. She started walking around her house for just 10 minutes after lunch. Nothing fast, just a slow stroll through the rooms. After a few days, she felt less drowsy after eating. After 2 weeks, her afternoon blood pressure readings dropped by about 6 points on average. The reason this helps is that light movement keeps blood circulating evenly. It prevents blood from pooling in one area, and it helps your blood vessels stay relaxed instead of constricting after a meal. Here is how to do it. After you finish your largest meal, wait about 5 to 10 minutes, and then walk at a slow, comfortable pace for 10 to 15 minutes. You do not need to go outside. Walking inside your home counts. If you have mobility issues, even standing and moving gently in place can help. If you use a cane or walker, bring it with you. This is not about speed. It is about gentle movement. If you feel unsteady or very full, wait a bit longer before starting. There is another benefit here. This same habit also helps with blood sugar. When you move after eating, your muscles use some of the sugar from your meal for energy. This helps keep blood sugar levels steadier after meals. And in older adults, blood sugar and blood pressure are closely connected. When blood sugar spikes frequently, it can make blood vessels stiffer over time. That makes blood pressure harder to control. So this one habit, a gentle walk after eating, supports both blood sugar and blood pressure at the same time. This is easy on the joints, and most older adults can try this safely. If you have found these tips helpful so far, consider subscribing. This channel is made for adults over 60 who want simple, clear information about blood pressure and blood sugar with no hype and no confusion. There are 3 more steps to cover. Each one builds on what you have already learned, and the last one is the most powerful reset of all. It prepares your body overnight to start the next day with lower, steadier blood pressure, but it works best when the earlier steps are already in place. 5. Reduce screen time and bright lights in the evening. This one catches many older adults by surprise. The light that comes from your television, tablet, phone, or even bright overhead lights in the evening can keep that internal stress alarm switched on longer than it should be. Your brain uses light as a signal. Bright light tells your brain to stay alert. When you expose yourself to bright screens late at night, your nervous system stays in a more activated state. This makes it harder for your blood pressure to come down naturally as the evening goes on. Many people over 60 have a habit of watching television right up until bedtime. Some scroll through news or social media on a tablet. Others keep all the lights in the house fully on until the moment they go to sleep. Each of these habits sends a signal to the brain that it is still daytime, still time to be alert, still time to keep blood pressure elevated. Walter is 74 years old. For decades, his evening routine was the same. After dinner, he would turn on the television and watch the news. Then he would watch more programs until 11 or 11:30 at night. The television was the last thing he turned off before walking to bed. Walter's blood pressure readings in the morning were always his highest. His doctor called it morning hypertension. His top number was often 154 or 156 when he woke up. His medication helped during the day, but mornings were always a problem. Walter's wife suggested they try something different. Instead of watching television until bedtime, they decided to turn it off by 9 o'clock. They dimmed the lights in the living room and switched to listening to calm music or reading books for the last hour or two before sleep. At first, Walter felt restless. He was so used to the stimulation of the screen. But after a week, he started to feel more relaxed in the evenings. After 3 weeks, his morning blood pressure readings started to improve. His top number dropped from the mid-150s to the low 140s. His doctor was pleased. The reason this works is that bright light, especially the blue-toned light from screens, suppresses a natural substance your body makes in the evening that helps you wind down. When that substance is suppressed, your nervous system stays more alert, your blood vessels stay tighter, and your blood pressure does not fall the way it should during the night. When you reduce bright light exposure in the evening, you allow your body to shift into its natural rest mode. This helps your nervous system calm down. It helps your blood vessels relax, and it allows blood pressure to dip properly while you sleep. Here is how to do it. About 1 to 2 hours before you plan to go to sleep, turn off the television. Put away your phone or tablet, or at least switch it to a dimmer setting. Turn off bright overhead lights and use softer lamps instead. You can read a physical book, listen to calm music, do a puzzle, or simply sit and talk with someone in your household. If you must use a screen, turn the brightness down as low as possible. Some devices have a night mode that reduces blue light. Use it if available. This change may feel strange at first if you are used to screens in the evening, but most older adults adjust within a week or two, and the benefit to your blood pressure, especially in the morning, can be significant. What time do you usually turn off screens before bed? Comment below. I am curious to hear what works for you. Here is another helpful step that often gets overlooked. 6. Eat more foods rich in potassium. Most people have heard that sodium raises blood pressure. This is true, but fewer people know that potassium helps balance out sodium and supports lower blood pressure. These two minerals work together. When you get enough potassium, it helps your body release excess sodium through urine. This reduces fluid buildup and allows blood vessels to relax. Many older adults focus only on cutting sodium. They remove the salt shaker from the table. They avoid processed foods, but they forget to add potassium-rich foods to their meals. This leaves the balance incomplete. Gloria is 68 years old. She was diagnosed with high blood pressure in her early 60s. She immediately cut back on salt. She stopped eating canned soups, deli meats, and salty snacks. She cooked more meals at home and added very little salt to anything, but after 2 years, her blood pressure had only improved a little. Her top number went from 148 to 142. Her doctor said that was progress, but there was still room for improvement. Gloria mentioned her frustration to a friend who asked her what she was eating. Gloria described her meals, mostly chicken, rice, bread, and some vegetables. Her friend asked if she was eating bananas, potatoes, leafy greens, or beans. Gloria said she rarely ate any of those. Her friend suggested she add more potassium-rich foods to her diet. Gloria started eating a banana with breakfast. She added a baked potato to her lunch a few times a week. She began using canned beans, rinsed to reduce sodium, in her salads and soups. She added more spinach and other leafy greens to her dinners. After about 6 weeks, Gloria checked her blood pressure at home. Her top number was now in the 130s more often than not. Over the next few months, it continued to improve. She did not change anything else. She just added potassium. The reason this helps is that potassium relaxes the walls of blood vessels. It also helps your kidneys filter out sodium more efficiently. When you have a good balance of potassium and sodium in your diet, your blood pressure is easier to manage. Here is how to do it. Focus on adding potassium-rich foods rather than just avoiding sodium. Good sources of potassium include bananas, oranges, potatoes with the skin, sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, tomatoes, and avocados. You do not need to count milligrams. Simply try to include 1 or 2 potassium-rich foods in each meal. Over time, this adds up. If you have kidney disease, speak with your doctor before increasing potassium. Your kidneys may not handle extra potassium as well, and your doctor may recommend specific limits. For most older adults without kidney problems, adding more potassium through food is safe and helpful. This supports steadier blood pressure over time. It is a longer-term lever, meaning the benefits build up gradually with consistent habits. If you are finding this helpful, subscribe to this channel. Every video is made for adults over 60 who want clear, calm information about blood pressure and blood sugar without the confusion or hype. Now here is the 7th step. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning, the most powerful reset of all, the one that works best when the earlier steps are already in place. 7. Improve the quality of your sleep. This is where everything comes together. Sleep is when your body does most of its repair work. It is when your nervous system has the chance to fully switch off that internal stress alarm. It is when your blood vessels get a break from the demands of the day. When you sleep well, your blood pressure naturally dips at night. This dip is important. It gives your heart and blood vessels time to rest and recover. But when sleep is poor, this dip does not happen properly. Blood pressure stays elevated through the night and spikes higher in the morning. Many older adults struggle with sleep. They wake up multiple times. They have trouble falling asleep. They wake up too early and cannot get back to sleep. Some assume this is just part of aging and nothing can be done. But small changes to sleep habits can make a real difference, not just for how you feel, but for your blood pressure. Leonard is 72 years old. For years, his sleep was unpredictable. Some nights he went to bed at 9. Other nights he stayed up past midnight. He often fell asleep in his recliner with the television on, then woke up at 2 in the morning and moved to his bed. His bedroom was warm and cluttered. He kept a nightlight on because he was worried about tripping if he got up. Leonard's blood pressure was difficult to control. He was on 2 medications, but his readings were still in the 140s and 150s most of the time. His morning readings were the worst. He often saw 155 or 160 when he first woke up. His doctor asked him about his sleep. Leonard admitted it was not great. His doctor suggested he try a few changes, nothing extreme, just a more consistent sleep schedule, a cooler and darker room, and a calming routine before bed. Leonard was skeptical, but he agreed to try. He set a goal to be in bed by 10:30 every night and to wake up around 6:30 every morning, even on weekends. He moved the television out of the bedroom. He got blackout curtains to make the room darker. He lowered the thermostat at night to keep the room cool. He replaced the nightlight with a small motion-activated light near the floor that only turned on if he got up. He also started a short wind-down routine before bed. He would dim the lights around 9 o'clock, as we discussed earlier. He would sit quietly, sometimes doing the slow exhale breathing from the first step. Then he would go to bed at the same time each night. The first few nights were hard. Leonard was not used to the new schedule, but after about a week, he started falling asleep faster. He stopped waking up as often in the middle of the night. He felt more rested in the morning. After about a month, Leonard noticed something else. His morning blood pressure readings were lower. Instead of 155 or 160, he was seeing 142 or 145. Over the next few months, the improvement continued. His doctor was able to reduce one of his medications. Leonard did not change his diet. He did not exercise more. He just improved his sleep. The reason this works is that sleep is the time when your body is supposed to fully relax. When you sleep poorly, your nervous system never fully switches off. That internal stress alarm keeps running at a low level all night. Your blood vessels never get the signal to fully relax, and your blood pressure stays higher than it should. When you improve your sleep, you give your body the chance to complete that reset. Your nervous system calms down, your blood vessels relax, your blood pressure dips at night the way it is supposed to, and you wake up with lower, steadier readings. Here is how to do it. Start with a consistent schedule. Go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning, even on weekends. Your body's internal clock works best with regularity. Make your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. A temperature around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal for most people. Use blackout curtains or an eye mask if needed. Use earplugs or a white noise machine if your environment is noisy. Avoid caffeine after the early afternoon. Even if you think caffeine does not affect you, it can reduce sleep quality without you realizing it. Create a wind-down routine. About an hour before bed, dim the lights. turn off screens. Do something calm like reading, listening to soft music, or doing the slow breathing exercise from step 1. Avoid large meals or a lot of fluids close to bedtime. This reduces the chance of discomfort or waking up to use the bathroom. If you wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep within 20 minutes, get out of bed and sit in a dim room until you feel sleepy again. Do not lie in bed awake for long periods. This trains your brain to associate the bed with wakefulness rather than sleep. If you have sleep apnea or suspect you might, speak with your doctor. Sleep apnea is common in older adults and is strongly linked to high blood pressure. Treating it can significantly improve blood pressure control. If you have pain, breathing issues, or other conditions that interfere with sleep, work with your doctor to address those. Better sleep is often possible even with chronic conditions. Most older adults can safely make these sleep changes at home. There are no side effects to going to bed at a consistent time or making your room darker. These are simple adjustments that add up over time. This step is the most powerful because it allows everything else to work better. The breathing, the light exposure, the evening screen reduction, the walking, the potassium, all of these support your body. But sleep is when your body actually does the repair. It is when the reset happens. When your sleep is poor, you are fighting against your own body. When your sleep is good, your body finally has the chance to lower blood pressure on its own. This is the thing most people do not know. That internal stress alarm we talked about at the beginning does not switch off on its own. You have to create the conditions for it to switch off, and the most important condition is quality sleep. Now you have all 7 steps. Let me summarize them briefly. 1. Use slow exhale breathing before stressful moments. Breathe in for 4 seconds, out for 6 seconds. This activates your calming nervous system and can lower blood pressure within minutes. 2. Measure your blood pressure correctly at home. Sit properly, rest first, stay silent, and use the right cuff size. This gives you accurate readings instead of falsely high numbers. 3. Get morning sunlight. 10 to 15 minutes of outdoor light within the first 2 hours of waking helps reset your internal clock and supports better blood pressure patterns. 4. Take a gentle walk after your largest meal. Just 10 to 15 minutes of slow walking helps circulation and supports both blood pressure and blood sugar. 5. Reduce screen time and bright lights in the evening. Turn off the television and dim the lights 1 to 2 hours before bed. This helps your nervous system shift into rest mode. 6. Eat more potassium-rich foods. Bananas, potatoes, beans, and leafy greens help balance sodium and relax blood vessels over time. 7. Improve your sleep quality. A consistent schedule, a cool, dark room, and a calming wind-down routine allow your body to complete its nightly reset. Each of these steps helps switch off that internal stress alarm. When you do them together, and in the right order, the effect is stronger than any single change on its own. One final note: if you ever experience chest pain, fainting, severe shortness of breath, sudden confusion, or one-sided weakness, seek emergency care immediately. These steps are for gradual improvement over time, not for emergencies. And if you are currently taking blood pressure medication, continue taking it as prescribed. These lifestyle changes can work alongside your medication. Never stop or adjust medication without talking to your doctor. If your blood pressure improves, your doctor can decide whether adjustments are appropriate. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video with them. And subscribe for more simple blood pressure and blood sugar tips made specifically for adults over 60. Thank you for staying with me through all 7 steps. Small changes, done consistently, lead to real improvement over time. You can do this at home. You can start today. Take care of yourself.